Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm so excited you're here. If you're not already, go ahead and hit the subscribe button because I post new videos every single Friday about travel, life, fitness, health, and everything in between. But in today's video, I'm going to be talking about the difference between fat loss and the difference between weight loss. So in my previous video, I think it was actually like 2 videos ago, I talked about how like fat loss isn't the same as weight loss and how I was trying to lower my body fat percentage, and a lot of you guys were asking questions, and I was like, well, if you guys want me to make a whole entire video, there's so much to talk about with fat loss and weight loss and the differences and how people kind of get those confused and like they don't know what to do for each one. So I was kind of like, well, like I'm gonna make a whole video on this if you guys are interested, and then the response was good, so I'm like, okay, I'll make a whole video on it. So that's what today's video is. If you guys like it, give it a big thumbs up because that really supports me, and if you have any video requests, please leave them down in the comments because that always helps me in creating content that you guys would like to see. But without further ado, let's get right into the video. Okay, so I have my whole thing of notes right here, but first off, I wanted to go into detail about like what does it mean? What does it mean when you want to lose fat or lower your body fat percentage, blah, blah, or what does it mean whenever you would like to lose weight, and how do you know which one to do? First things first, I think I want to talk about how just because, so anybody can lose weight, just because you lose weight doesn't mean that you're fit or in shape. Obviously, like it's not always like that, but the times that I have seen, all the research that I have done, I've realized that you really aren't getting fit if you are losing weight. Like that doesn't really matter. Honestly, whenever you are losing weight, it's just about the number on the scale and lowering it. I'm going to get more into that later on and what I think about the scale, but the thing is that I've seen a lot is that most people don't really care about preserving muscle maintenance. So what that means is that whenever people lose weight, they are losing their muscle if they have any at all, which is not exactly a good thing. You have to remember that muscle weighs more than fat. I'm going to insert a little clip right here on like the differences, just because like you have 5 pounds of muscle and 5 pounds of fat, the fat takes up a bigger circumference. So what that means is that you take up more space in the room than if you would have 5 pounds of muscle. And you have to remember that like a 130-pound human is going to look very different if they only have 40% of body fat on them versus someone who has like 15% of body fat on them. They look completely different. I'm also going to find a photo just so you guys can like see where I'm coming from and like see the differences in the way that like a 130-pound person can look. Okay, and then another thing about only losing weight is that yes, you could cut calories, you can lower your poundage on the scale, and while that can make you feel wonderful and proud of yourself and accomplished, essentially you are only going to be lowering your metabolism, and you're going to leave yourself feeling sluggish because you are cutting so many calories and you're not nourishing your body properly. Not all diets are like that, but I found that even for myself, like I am a prime example of this because I went through this. I wanted to go on this strict low carb diet a while back. I think I actually have a video on it, so go ahead on my channel if you guys want to look at that. But I did this like really strict diet, and honestly, I almost ended up passing out in a restaurant. Yes, so I went through this time in my life where like I wasn't giving my body the nutrients that it needed, and I was overtraining and under eating. And I just remember I was at this like restaurant with my family, and like I felt so nauseous and lightheaded. I almost passed out because my body needed the carbs that I wasn't giving it. So honestly, that's why I'm like so passionate about this topic, and like I know firsthand the difference between these two, so I'm like, I love explaining it. And yeah, let's just get right. So yeah, that is just like my little spiel. You guys can go back to my videos, like I think it was like a year ago, so check those out if you guys are interested in that and you don't exactly know the difference between the two. But then for fat loss, if you're wanting to do that, you're exercising right and you're putting everything in your body that it needs, you are gonna be making your metabolism faster, you're gonna feel more energy, and you're just gonna feel happier and healthier overall. Okay, so now I'm gonna go over the differences. I have like this column where I have like fat loss and then weight loss. So first off, I'm gonna go into weight loss because that column is like way shorter. If you don't care about having muscle or anything, like then you could lose weight, but I'm just warning you guys that if you aren't putting the essential nutrients in your body that like your body needs to function, it is not going to be good. Like I firsthand witnessed that. Just be very careful and determine your goals and what you want to look like. And again, you won't feel as much strength as you would for somebody who is taking care of their body, exercising right, lifting weights, blah 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 blah, and you'll honestly just feel deflated. And another thing is, don't become fixed on weight loss and the scale, because the scale fluctuates. Like you're gonna have different amounts of water weight into your body at different times of the day. One day you could be like 5 pounds lighter, the next day you could be like 5 pounds heavier, and that's like not possible. So you just have to remember to not be focused on the scale. I know at one point in time I was so focused on the scale and it just hurt me in the long run. So I would just, honestly, for me, like I don't weigh myself anymore. I am like around 130 pounds, and like I don't weigh myself anymore because I've been doing more weight training and doing more like HIIT toning, and so I know that like I'm gaining muscle. I can see that in my body, and honestly, like if I were to go on the scale and like look at that, then like it would just get me discouraged. So just throw the scale away. Don't throw it away, but like put it in storage, get rid of it for now, because let's not focus on that. Okay, so on to my fat loss column. So I probably should have said this earlier, but your body fat percentage is the key to losing fat. So the more you lower your body fat percentage, the more fat you're gonna lose. So the more muscle equals the more fat loss. So like I said before, you need to be preserving your muscle, and that'll ultimately help you in your journey for becoming fitter and healthier. I see so many people like sabotaging their diets, and like honestly, diets aren't enjoyable. You need to make it a lifestyle for it to be sustainable. Once you start losing your muscle, if you're just focusing on the scale and weight loss, you are pretty much going to be going on an uphill battle to lowering your body fat percentage, because you're going to have to come out of that hole, and this is why like so many diets fail. Okay, so the next question I'm going to be going over is, okay, Callie, how do I prevent muscle loss? One, the thing that I witnessed firsthand, make sure you are getting enough carbohydrates for your energy level. If you are like constantly training, you go to the gym 5-6 days a week, you need to be giving yourself carbohydrates. Not all of them are bad, obviously, like I've talked about this before, but just don't go eat like a whole bowl of sugary cereal. Like that's not the same as like a sweet potato or oatmeal or a good carb. And then number two, what I love and what I promote is eating nutrient dense foods that nourish your body. So I was listening to a podcast one day, and this has just like, you know those things that just like stick in your head and you can never forget them? Well, this was one of them. I literally heard this girl say, okay, well before I eat a meal, I'm gonna hold up the bowl and I say, body, does this nourish you? So that kind of gives you an idea before you eat your meal to get you in a good headspace. And like if I'm eating this bowl of oatmeal, yes, it's gonna nourish me, I'm gonna eat it. If I'm eating this bag of chips, no, it's not gonna nourish me, I'm gonna think twice or eat in moderation. So that's kind of what I think about whenever I'm eating a meal or before I eat a meal. Okay, so get enough protein and get enough fats. So fats aren't bad, fats are good. I know they sound like they would be bad, but they're not. They give you energy, and they honestly, like I eat fats in the morning and it just puts me like in a mode where I'm like ready to go for the rest of the day. It just like puts my brain on fire. I don't know why, but I've noticed that. So fats are great. Get enough proteins, because that will ultimately speed up your metabolism too. So the last thing on this little spiel is to get enough exercise so that your muscles have a reason to maintain themselves. So you can't just expect to like eat healthy and then all of a sudden you'll have muscles and you'll have biceps. Like that like rarely happens. At least do a little bit of exercise. Like I did a whole video on like the best exercise videos that you can do at home, so go back and do that if you don't have enough time. Like all you need is like 15 minutes during the day to get a workout in, and that will help preserve your muscles. So the more you exercise, the more muscles you're gonna get. My favorite type of workouts to do are HIIT, body weight resistance training. I feel like that gets me lean and toned and like not bulky. I'm not about being like super bulky. I don't do like 200-pound squats. Like, I've kind of thrown a little bit of shade on squats throughout my journey because I just believe you don't need them. I have big enough thighs. I played soccer. My thighs are huge, well, to me, but yeah, so I don't do any squats because ultimately that builds your thighs. So I do different glute exercises with a band, so I can do like a whole video on that if you guys want to see that. But yeah, there's so many different exercises you can do, and a lot of them are just with body weight. You can get lean and toned with just your body weight. Alright guys, so I think that is all that I have in today's video, but I hope you guys enjoyed that and gave you a little bit more clarity with your weight loss and your fat loss journey. And if you guys have any more questions, please leave them down in the comments, and I hope that was helpful to you guys. Please give me a big thumbs up because that really supports me, and don't forget to subscribe because I post new videos every single Friday. And with that, I will see you guys next week. Bye!